This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Time to recommend something. I've got a show that you need to get into, but you wanted to talk about a snack first.
Yeah, so I just hit up Timmy's on the way into work today, and I saw that they have their pumpkin spice muffins already, and I was like, well, 'tis the sizz.
Yeah. It's not really the sizz yet.
It was.
It's August still, so it's not the sizz.
But it is, because it was chilly this morning. It had apple crisp vibes in the air. So I was like, I am definitely getting one of these muffins.
I'm sorry, what are apple crisp vibes?
I don't know. I saw somebody tweet that. They were like, the weather this morning feels like apple crisp. And I was like, it does.
Weird. Okay.
But makes sense in a way, right?
I wonder if it's because like apple trees are being harvested this time of year.
Yeah. So the pumpkin spiced muffins from Timmy's, they're actually really good. They have a cream cheese filling.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried the pumpkin spiced pizza that they're coming out with at Tim Hortons?
You're joking. I feel like I would still try it, though.
Okay, so there it is. Recommended by Lisa, the pumpkin spice muffins.
It was pretty good. I liked it.
I'm recommending a TV show. Listen, most people that would have watched it have watched it. House of the Dragons. It is incredible.
I'm pretty sure it's just House of the Dragon.
Sorry. Quit dragging me. House of the Dragon, it's just 2 episodes into the series so far.
So you have time to catch up, and you don't need to watch Game of Thrones.
No. Exactly. And that's a big challenge to I got to watch all of Game of Thrones before I watch this. No, it looks like it's going to stand alone and be fine.
Especially because it takes place 200 years before what happens in Game of Thrones. So really, you should be watching this first.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you think about it.
It is spectacular so far, though. During the episode last night, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I was like, this is the most captivated I've been by a drama since Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. It's already got me completely hooked.
The only thing that I would recommend is you can't watch it during the day because all the scenes are so dark. There was no electricity back then.
Right.
So you got to have a really dark room to enjoy the show.
Okay.
To know what character is on the screen at that time.
Yeah, it would be kind of weird watching that show right now.
Yeah.
When the sun's rising, it feels like it's an evening show.
Ben just wrote in saying, can you guys please play your Game of Thrones theme song with made-up lyrics? I feel like the more we play this song, the more we ruin the intro. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like ruining things, so let's do it.
They use the same theme song for House of the Dragon, so we may have to actually rework these lyrics.
Update them a little
bit.
Okay.
This time next week, return for the brand new version. But yes, sure, Ben, we'll play that for you.
Yep.
Fire, breathing dragons, breathing dragons, breathing dragons, breathing dragons, breathing dragons.
Wait, are those family members actually shagging, family shagging, family shagging, family shagging?
Hot guys with beards who look unshowered, look unshowered, look unshowered, look unshowered.
All these beautiful women have so much power, so much power, so much power, so much power.
This is our Game of Thrones tune, Game of Thrones tune, Game of Thrones tune, Game of Thrones tunes.
Don't get too attached to a character. They'll be dead soon, they'll be dead soon, they'll be dead soon, they'll be dead soon.
Woo! At what point did we make the transition that 15% wasn't a great tip anymore? Because 10 years ago, I feel like 15% was a good tip.
Yeah, and everything's more expensive now, so 15% of something that's overpriced to begin with seems like a pretty good tip. But I never hit 15. I always go at least 18.
At least 18?
Yeah. Is that wrong?
No, I mean, it's your prerogative. And I was out this weekend, and the tip option didn't even have 15 available. It was 18, 20, and 25. I was like, come on. What? And I don't want to seem like a complete cheap ass, and I think I do come across as it on this show quite a bit because I'm just noticing the cost of everything going up, and I like to complain about things.
Yeah.
Shout out to servers that are grinding. I've been a server before. It's a tough job. You're very busy, and you have to deal with cranky customers a lot. And
Remember there was that study that was done that said that people that work in the service industry are sometimes more stressed than a surgeon.
I wondered when we all agreed that like 15% is not a great tip anymore.
I'd like to hear people's honest opinion. Like when you are at a till and there's a tip option, but it's a place where they just like turn their back to you for 5 seconds to grab something out of a fridge and hand it to you. Are you tipping or are you saying, no, absolutely not?
Yeah, like walk up to the counter and order and then get it. And there's a tip option on the, and like you feel bad for hitting no. If they're bringing it to the table, if they're cleaning the table afterwards, those kinds of things I think are needed for me to feel like I should tip.
Jordan works in the service industry saying on the text line, now we have to tip out the kitchen and the house and everybody else. And that's usually around 6 to 8%. So in reality, we're only getting a portion of that percentage.
That makes sense.
Tipping. Kat says the tip shouldn't go up. Their salary should be fair. That needs to go up.
Right.
Living off of tips shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like,
yeah, there's some places in the world that refuse to take tips. They just pay their employees a good amount of money that it's worth it for them to be there on an hourly basis.
And then they pay taxes on that too.
Yeah.
So that's good for everybody.
That's true. You're so passionate about tips. You're like, no, yeah, not paying taxes on that.
Well,
You're so angry.
it should be something that you get taxed on. What paves the road to get you to the restaurant? Tax money does.
Okay, Hillary says, I have no shame. If I'm even at Subway or a place like that and the person doesn't talk or they're not overly nice, I don't tip.
0.
They don't say hi, nothing.
Is 15% still a decent tip in your mind?
Also, have you been somewhere where you're like, this is absurd that there's a tipping option?
I love this. I don't feel like a cheap ass anymore after checking the text line and taking some calls on tips. I find it a little bit ridiculous that we're starting to see the end of 15% as an option on a lot of machines or some machines. I saw one this weekend.
There's no 10% anymore.
Yeah.
It's 15 and over. And usually it actually does start at 18%.
So like for me, if over the past 5 years, I'd say I'd average out that if I got respectable service, it would be 15%. If I got great service, it would be 20. If I got poor service, it would be 10.
Don wrote in saying, I tipped at Pasta Pantry the other night because it was oddly busy for 7:30 p.m. and the young staff were so polite, and that's something that you don't really see often these days.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've also heard from some people on the text line that are saying they're confused when they see the tip option after certain services. Paula said, I always tip after I get my Botox. I'm not sure why, though. Because people are just doing their job.
Right.
Right? So Anna wrote in saying at Tutti Frutti, they had a tip option. I literally made my own froyo. Like, am I tipping you to weigh my cup to tell me how much I owe for my frozen yogurt?
Like, hey, what can we start after we really like hit a home run of a break and say something really funny? Can we be like, feel free to fire us a tip?
Absolutely, we should. Just my email address.
Yeah.
You can e-transfer me a couple dollars. Remember that time we sent someone $6 to get a burger on the text line?
Yeah.
What was that? They wanted to try a flamethrower, and we were like, it's on us. We don't have it as a prize, but
bought him a burger.
yeah, we were like, what's your email address? Good times. This person on the text line wants to ask our listeners, are you supposed to tip when you buy a wedding dress?
I feel like if it's, the seamstress
I don't
who's
know.
putting it together, maybe that's a place that you tip.
And it sucks because the person that's texting in, they didn't sign a name, but they said, I feel so guilty and put on the spot when there's a tip option at certain places. What do? There's a lot of fired up people in the text line saying, why is there a tip option at Subway? I just gave you a tutorial on how to make my sandwich.
BC liquor stores.
Oh, yeah.
Some BC liquor stores have tip options. Like, no.
We just got a call from someone that literally tows people's vehicles, and there's a tip option when you pay them for your vehicle that was just towed.
I guess if you're a business owner and you would like your staff to get some more money, do you just throw the tip option on rather than giving them a raise? Pretty greasy. Nolan says, I don't know why people tip for jobs I'm capable of doing myself. I can deliver food. I can drive a taxi. I can and do cut my own hair. I did, however, tip my urologist because I'm unable to pulverize my own kidney stones. Thank you, Nolan.
Hannah wrote in, I'm also very passionate about the tip option at Subway or takeout orders. Why am I tipping you to do your your job. Wish I could give a tipping option when I discharge patients. The most I get is a pen during Nurses Week. I might be bitter.
It sounds like it, just a little. Ryder and Lisa, we are joined by Tanya, who is going to be the judge for our Clean Joke Off. And just by doing so, she's also got 2 tickets to the Roast of Ryder, which goes down on September 8th. It feels weird to call it that when I am a Ryder, you know?
Yeah, but you're turning 40, so we got to go big or go home. And we're going to be celebrating with all of Ryder's favorite things, $2 fried chicken, $4 Pilsner, and prizes to be given away all throughout the night. All of the proceeds are going to Operation Friendship Seniors Society, and they're only just over $10 a person. It's going to be loaded with entertainment. We have 2 comedians that are headlining the show.
Hilarious guys.
Sterling Scott and Scott Belford. They're amazing. And Grant Johnson, who used to do the show with us, he's going to be getting up there and roasting Ryder. Same with Jenna Winterburn. She's actually a comedian on the side, so it should be good. I'll be hosting. Jake Ryan will be there. It's going to be fun.
All right. So, Tanya, you just have to decide which joke you like more. Possibly have 3 rounds. It's a best of 3. Lisa, fire away.
Tanya, what does Jeff Bezos do every night before bed?
What?
He puts his pajamas on.
Why don't ants get sick?
Why not?
Because they have little antibodies.
That's a good one. I have to go with Ryder on that one.
Okay,
Yes.
it's okay. I'm not feeling threatened. I feel like this one is going to win. My friend Joe recently went on the Dolly Parton diet. It really made Jolene.
Oh. Okay. Do you use your right hand to stir your coffee?
Yes.
Huh. I use a spoon.
Definitely go with that one.
You're going to go with mine?
No, Lisa.
Yes, I love when we make it to the 3rd round. It's the finals. A weasel walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Wow, I've never served a weasel before. What can I get for you?" "Pop," goes the weasel.
Okay. And finally, what's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo?
What?
One is really heavy. The other is a little lighter.
Oh, that's a tough one. They're both so cute. I think Lisa's.
No.
Yes, I love when I win. I never win.
Your phone was breaking up there, man. We're going to have to let you go. Play 107, it's Ryder and Lisa. That's the Backstreet Boys, who you saw in concert on the weekend. You took my 10-year-old.
Yeah, she said, "Usually downtown scares me, but there's so many moms around. I feel super safe tonight." I was like, you're right about that.
But it was probably pretty cool for you to see a 10-year-old taking in the Backstreet Boys, as you would have been about 10
Yep.
when they got very popular.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. And the fact that she knew majority of their big songs and the lyrics, like I look over at her to see, and she knew the words. I guess our station helps too with
Absolutely.
having throwbacks on a lot.
Yeah.
For a 10-year-old to know that music. It was awesome.
So you were saying, like, you enjoyed it as much as you would have when you were 10, too.
Oh, yeah. The nostalgia was real. I'm not expecting to get as emotional as I did. It was, they can still perform. They were giving her until the very end. Like Encore, they came back on all wearing Oilers jerseys.
Yeah.
And they did Larger Than Life.
And it was awesome.
So good.
You posted one video of my daughter singing, and then in the background, you can see Jenna, who does the show after us, just sobbing
She was
uncontrollably.
crying. Yeah.
The funny thing about this is, like, she was offered a ticket, and she wasn't sure if she was going to make it work or not.
Yeah,
Like,
and
she
then
was just on the
she was-
fence about whether she was going to go.
And then as soon as they were on stage, she was sobbing. She cried the entire time.
Like, I get maybe crying when you finally see an artist that's like a lifelong dream, but from somebody that was on the fence whether they were going to go or not, I just find the tears ridiculous.
yeah, that's the power of the Backstreet Boys.
I guess so.
The power of music.
780-784-7107, with Lisa saying they made her as happy now as they would have when she was little, seeing them live. We wanted to ask you that question. What makes you as happy now as it did when you were little? 780-784-7107. I'll start with just an example. Tobogganing. when I'm ripping down a hill, I am having as much fun as I did ripping down hills when I was 8.
People need to have GoPros on. Adults need to go down on a toboggan and have a GoPro just because you're giggling the entire time.
Capture those moments, yeah. 780-784-7107. Hit us up. What makes you as happy now as it did when you were little? Amazing answers coming in on the text line. Christina says, eating Gushers.
Okay, because Gushers have been consistently amazing since day one. Whereas some candies, you eat them as an adult and you're like, oh, this actually doesn't taste as good as it did when I was a kid. Maybe the recipe changed or your taste buds have changed, but I feel like Gushers are still
just deadly.
so good.
Nick says, live pro wrestling. It always brings me back to when I was a kid. Loved it the whole way through.
I think my answer is when I ask someone if I can pet their dog and they say yes. It brings me the same joy as it did when I was 7 and would ask people.
That doesn't surprise me. You even have a shirt that says, can I pet your dog? Mm-hmm. So you don't even have to ask. You can just point.
Yeah, just point to it.
The ice cream truck song coming around the block. I like that. 780-784-7107. Kelsey says water slide, except that time I almost drowned. Okay. Water slides to me have changed. I enjoyed them a lot as a kid, and now I find that they just go a little bit too fast for me.
Mm-hmm, you get dizzy.
And so now I've started sitting up while riding water slides, and then that makes me feel super lame.
Ryder's been getting dizzy spells every once in a while. Do we have any nurses or doctors that are listening? We need help with that.
No, we're okay.
Are you? I worry about you. Bree says something that still brings me joy now, the way it did when I was a kid, is Christmas, family vacations, Slurpees, and candy. That's it.
Great answers.
That's right. That's so good. Sean says Pokemon cards.
Another Kelsey says playing video games. I'm a mom of 2 and I still play games when my kids go to bed. I've been playing video games since I was 7 and it's still my favorite thing to do. I was thinking about video games the other day and like when I get to be, retirement home age, that like I could play video games all day and like have a great time. So I hope that's the case when I'm old. Like I hope my thumbs still work so I can just game.
Yeah, it's not going to be bingo and card games.
Right.
They're going to have like a full setup room of video games, virtual reality games.
Like NHL 61.
61. It's true.
Can't wait. How many pictures of pets do you take a year of your own pets? Hit us up with your answer at 780-784-7107. What would you say?
Probably thousands.
And then do you keep them all?
No, like eventually I go through and I delete ones that don't make sense.
So you'll take like 3 or 4 pictures and then like delete the 2 or 3 worst ones?
Yeah.
Keep one nice picture?
I don't think there's a day that goes by that I'm not taking pictures of dogs.
That's so awesome. The average person is much the same as you.
Okay.
But not quite as much. Because if you're saying thousands a year, that's much more than the average of 400 pictures per year of their pet.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I probably am like 1 a week. Then I'm like, oh.
Not even.
Yeah, maybe not.
Which is weird. You should actually have your animals taken away.
Because I don't take enough pictures of them.
Yeah.
Hit us up at 780-784-7107. And actually, just from last week, there's a really good thread of a bunch of dog pictures from International Dog Day on our Facebook page.
Yeah, so instead of just saying post a photo of your dog, we asked for your sarcastic reasons why you love them. Mm-hmm. So all the things that they do that bug the hell out of you.
The crap out of everybody.
So the captions, like the comment section, is so funny.
Well, yeah, because you look at the pictures of them and it'll be like, thanks for eating my couch.
Yeah.
And then they just look like the kind of dog that eats couches.
Absolutely. Or the people that are like, I love that we get presents every week. And those presents are just dead birds.
The Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Play 107.